Ciao a tutti Macello and welcome to a new video list. Lots of JRPGs announcement lately, so I'm going to list some of the best expected between 2022 and 2023 on PC and consoles. Let's go! Fans of deep JRPGs with richly imagined settings don't have long to wait at all for their next big title. The newest title in the fan-favorite Legend of Heroes series is right around the corner. The franchise has always boasted some of the most intricate storylines available, and Trails from Zero should be no different. Protagonist Lloyd Bannings has appeared in other Legend of Heroes games, but you don't need to be familiar with his past exploits to enjoy Trails from Zero. Whether you are a long-time fan or new to the series, this newest title should give you plenty to do in the fall. On Steam and Switch. Chain Echoes blends classic and modern JRPG styles, serving up as Super Nintendo-style adventure with 21st century aesthetics and gameplay. Dragons, mecha and airships are everywhere in the game's fantasy world, and you'll be able to command and battle them throughout. We could go on about the game's retro credibility, like the Chrono Trigger style battles that take place right on the map. But honestly, Chain Echoes looks well poised to stand on his own merits rather than those of its main inspirations. Give it a try when it launches later this year on Steam and GOG. One Piece is one of the biggest anime and manga series of all time, with legions of fans across the world. Even if you aren't one, the upcoming RPG based on the franchise could certainly be worth your time. Bandai has a great track record with AAA RPGs, including the Tales series, so One Piece Odyssey is in good hands. The game's shipwrecked and separated storyline makes it easy for newcomers to get to know the cast, but if you are already familiar with the characters and setting, so much the better. On Steam and PlayStation. Every game in the long-running Front Mission series is its own story, taking place over the course of a long chain of conflicts, but there's still something to be said for going back to the beginning. This 2-in-1 remake of the original games, combined as Front Mission First, is a faithful adaptation of the tactical mecha RPGs that started in all. Front Mission blends personal stories with the protagonist's place in a global war. The remake is the first chance for many players outside of Japan to experience the original, so don't miss out. On Switch. There's probably no game more widely anticipated than the newest Pokémon title. The world's biggest gaming franchise is getting a new region with a new generation of collectible critters, and while not much has been confirmed yet, that hasn't stopped fans from speculating about every conceivable detail. Who are the two new professors? Why are they dressed so differently? Do the two versions take place in different time periods? Nintendo certainly isn't saying so, we'll just have to wait until the game launches to find out on Switch. There's been plenty of hype surrounding the upcoming remake of strategy classic Tactics Ogre, and with good reason. It's one of the formative games in the genre, with countless modern titles claiming inspiration, at least in part from the original. Tactics Ogre Reborn is based on the 2010 version of the game, but includes several tweaks to make it a unique experience. Even players who have completed the campaign several times over will have something new to try when Reborn launches this November, on Steam, PlayStation and Switch.
There is blood on my hands.
The Royal Edition of Persona 5, that is, the definitive edition, has been out for a few years now, but not on every platform. This October, Switch owners will get to experience the ultimate version of the latest Persona title. Persona 5 is already considered one of the best RPGs of the last few years, and the Royal Edition managed to improve it further. The Switch release is a great reason to start the game for the first time or the fifth. After its smashing success on Kickstarter, Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes is set to deliver stunning 2.5D RPG action next year. As you might expect from the title, there are over 100 playable characters, each with their own skills and combat style. A prequel called Eiyuden Chronicles Rising is already available, giving fans a taste of what's to come in the main game. 100 Heroes is shaping up to be the kind of game that JRPG fans will want to clear their schedules for as soon as a release date is announced. It's also going to be available from day one on Game Pass, on Steam and GOG. Sabotage Studio gave fans of the original Ninja Gaiden platformers threat with The Messenger, and now JRPG players get their turn with Sea of Stars. This turn-based adventure is positively breathtaking with lavish environments and incredible animations. Exploration is very freeform in Sea of Stars, and your party can jump, climb, swim and more through every environment. There are also tons of storylines and minigames to explore, so Sea of Stars has a lot to offer when it launches next year on Steam, Switch and PlayStation. Armored Fantasia imagines a post-apocalyptic society reminiscent of the Wild West, represented by an enormous world map for players to explore. Futuristic sci-fi weapons and vehicles will be a key part of gameplay, and utilizing characters' gadgets is essential both for combat and adventuring. Now on Kickstarter. Penny Blood is a dark occult mystery set in 1920s, and while it isn't directly related to Shadow Earth, the themes fit together nicely. The Psycho-Sigil system tests players' reflexes, requiring them to draw arcane symbols during their turn to get the effects they need. With a large world to explore and a rich story to go along with it, Monochrome Mobius is a quintessential modern JRPG. Created by the team behind the Utawera Rumono series, Monochrome Mobius is a plot-focused game, but don't assume that means they've skimmed on the rest. The game features strategic battles with dazzling abilities and an array of party members and enemies to take part in them. On Steam. Black March Studios' upcoming early access title takes the classic gameplay of Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre and turns them up to 11. Brimming with politics, warfare and betrayal, the game's story raises the stakes for its deep greed-based tactical battles. Customization is king in Crimson Tactics, with hundreds of weapon types and abilities, to say nothing of the more than 24 classes available. There's even a mount system for further personalizing your forces. Crimson Tactics enters early access this October on Steam. Pixelated Meal, the studio behind the underrated World War II roguelite Warsaw, brings its signature level of quality to JRPGs with Sacrifire. The game's environment, characters and monsters are all exceptionally presented with amazing pixel art against a 3D background. Sacrifire seems designed to make players think at every opportunity. It features creative dungeons design and a deep combat system, and the storyline's moral complexity aims to subvert the usual JRPG tropes. The game is expected to launch before the end of the year, but no date has yet been announced on Steam.
And now, Introducing the next great legend of wrestling.
Which form of entertainment enjoyed around the world has larger-than-life characters and exciting battles and engaging but sometimes melodramatic storylines? You're probably thinking of JRPGs, but pro wrestling also fits the bill. Why not combine the two?
And ready to make his mark on.
As an up-and-coming wrestler, you'll have to make a name for yourself against past and present legends of the ring. WrestleQuest features appearances by real-world wrestlers, including the late Macho Man Randy Savage, but ultimately it's your story, on Steam and Xbox.
High-flying behemoth in the ring.
This video ends here. Let me know what you think about these JRPGs in the comments below. Remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and also consider supporting me through all my pages. Wish you the best. Ciao!